Hey, what is going on, guys? I'm Bryce, and today I will be talking about a few things every reptile keeper should own. From if you have one animal to 1,000, it doesn't really matter. You should keep these. It's not a necessity, but it sure will make your life a hang of a lot easier. Number one, this thing. Did you see how it just fell out of the sky? It's pretty much a sign. You should get one of these. It's called a book. Well, basically, guys, you'll use this to keep record of everything that your animals do and don't do. So like if they have a feed, if they don't, how long they've been off feed, how their growth rate's been, and just keeping track of all your animals. Especially if you have many reptiles, you'll find you forget one animal hasn't fed in this week. It's just good to keep track, basically. I shouldn't do that. Don't throw your books around. Okay, number two is this thing. It's basically a timer. Well, not basically, it is a timer. So what you're going to need this thing for is, yeah, I know South Africans have different plugs to most of you guys. Don't worry about that. It's a timer that you plug your plugs into, and then you can time your lights. So like in this enclosure here, I don't want the lights on 24/7, and I don't want to come in the reptile room every morning at 6 a.m. and then switch it off at whatever time I've set it. So that's why I got one of these things. So it automatically switches the lights on and off. And it really saves a lot of time and just makes your reptile room that much easier to care for. The next thing that will literally save your reptiles' lives is this thing, a thermostat. Currently it's plugged into an enclosure, so that's why I can't really pull the cable right now. But what this does is it controls the temperature to the perfect temperature that you've set it at. So if you have a heat pad running in your enclosure like I do in most of my enclosures, actually all in fact, it's a lot easier to keep control and track of them. So basically a thermostat helps you control your temperatures perfectly to the T of what they need to be for your specific animal. Because if you have something like a ball python, you need a heat pad. And if you leave that heat pad on constantly, it may become too hot for that snake and the snake may die of heat. Remember, reptiles die a lot quicker from heat than they do from cold. So the thermostat basically saves your reptiles' lives and your life by not having to switch your heat pads on and off all the time to keep it at the perfect temperature. It does that for you, so it's literally amazing, especially if you have different types of animals in different enclosures. Like you'll have a tropical to a desert setup, from like a crested gecko who needs hardly any heat to a ball python who needs quite a bit of heat. So if it's really hot in the day, the animal won't be cooked by your heat pad, because no one wants that to happen to their precious reptiles. The next thing is this right over here. It's not a laser, no, it's a heat gun, and what this is used for is to accurately check the temperatures of enclosures wherever you point this little red dot. My hand's currently at 30.7 degrees Celsius, which is 87.2 degrees Fahrenheit. Please guys, don't point this in your reptile's eyes, or any human or any animal for that fact. Any living thing basically, I mean, it's self-explanatory. It's dangerous and I don't think it'll damage the camera, so don't worry about that. It really saves time and money because you don't need to have a thermometer in every single enclosure to know what temperature it is. You just point it at the hot spot, point it at the cold spot, and you can instantly know what the temperature is. For instance, right over here is 29 degrees Celsius, which is 85.4 degrees Fahrenheit. But another thing to remember is don't point this through glass. It doesn't really work like that, because then it'll read the glass's surface temperature. So the next thing is these tongs right over here. These are pretty handy devices. What they're used for is basically holding your rats or your feeder insects so you can feed them to your animals, and it's basically an extension so you don't have to be bitten, or just like that extra little bit so you don't get bitten. As well as it's very, very useful for picking up stuff, like if you have hard to reach, I don't know, I just use it for picking up stuffs. They're just a really nice thing to have, and I do recommend it to any of you out there who don't have one yet or have a set. They're pretty cheap. Well, in South Africa, hit me up. I know where I can get you some for like $5 or whatever. Pretty good like that. Okay, so something that is way underrated is this thing, a poop scoop. It's literally amazing. Well, it is amazing. I use it for anything like scraping out new or old substrate, as well as poop. Yep, poop. Especially with your bigger monitor lizards and pythons, their feces can be quite messy and not easy to just scoop up. It's good to have one of these. It keeps everything nice and hygienical, if that's a word. Basically, it's a hygiene hazard if you pick up poop with your hand and then don't wash it and forget and wipe your face, or I don't know. You know what I mean. So this poop scoop's just super awesome. And one thing you can do, I think this is like a feed, you get them from feed stores for feeding animals, and then you can cut little slits down it so you can sift out the substrate as well, but I haven't done that yet because I don't need to. I just scoop out all the substrate in the surrounding area of the defecation or feces. Yeah, so that's it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please share it with your friends and subscribe if you're new, and if you like this video, please give a like, and hope you enjoyed. Thanks, guys. Bryce from Righteous Reptiles. Oh wait, I have to give somebody a shout out. So shout out to Liam McCulley and Sarah Jones. Thank you for watching my channel, guys. And if you guys want to be shouted out or whatever, click that little bell and join the post notification squad. I don't think I should call it a squad as everyone else does, so post notification gang? I don't know. Thanks, guys, for watching. Bryce from Righteous Reptiles. Cheers.